in terms of university systems. When it comes to the wider world and reality, the 5-star research is often that's done in partnerships with families and the recipients.
Thank you very much for the answer, Roy. Well, you've had an opportunity, I know, to have a little look at the research that we're trying to do here, and what we're trying to do is engaging the families and by working with parents online. And I just wondered just in terms of any comment that you would like to sort of share with us today about what it is that we're trying to do that might help parents to see their role in the research that we're doing. Although ours is online, it's online, but we do try to have use the face-to-face possible. But it's just that it would just be good to have your opinion on where we're going with this.
The value that you can bring is the international reach. I think from my international experience that there's a lot more that families have in common, despite the variation that there may well be in service provision and so on. So one of the things that I think through your networks, and I would hope that each of the parents in whatever location they find themselves might be a springboard to recruit other parents as well, is to try and identify what are some of the priorities that families have. Some of it's come through in the questions you're asking, some of it will be through other aspects. It may well be that by designing among yourselves a tool that allows people to share their notions on what are the priorities for supporting families, what are the priorities helping children's social and emotional development, for example, some of the things I've talked about today. That sort of research has been done, what's called key informants in the research community, and that gets published in quite prestigious journals. They get 40 eminent people and ask them what they think the future of research should be in an area like intellectual disability, for example, and that gets written up. We haven't got, to my knowledge, much evidence of how that has been done on an international scale in relation to parents and parents setting the agenda for what are the big issues for them. So I think that would certainly be very informative, and it would also be for what their needs and aspirations are in relation to children. That might have to be done by way of impairment groupings, but again, that could be quite informative if done across different impairment groupings to see how much commonality there may be. And again, I think you're well placed to do some of that particular work as well. The other strategies the opportunities for people to contribute their stories. There's been a project going in the Republic of Ireland, although this admittedly is in relation to people with an intellectual disability telling their story, but it came out of Australia originally, and it was finding 19 people who had been very successful in becoming more included in their communities. These are people, adult people with intellectual disability, and 19 sounds a bit like an arbitrary number, but actually what they found was that 19 really captured the diversity of responses. So another possibility is for parents who really feel they've overcome some of the difficulties and problems that they had faced, and they're facing the future more hopeful than they have before. Of you telling your story, contributing to this stock of stories about, well, what has really worked for parents, what really made the difference. So when you reflect on that, what in your family made a difference, in your community that made a difference, and the fact that you can put all that together and post that, it may be the 19 stories, but it only needs to start with 1, 2, 3. I think you would be starting to see some very valuable insights, particularly, again, if you can do that across environment groups and conditions. And I think that helps and would help to identify the types of supports that families can be given and guidance from other parents and also from professionals.
Well, thank you very much.